Summoning his courage, George set off to explore the deserted island. But when he turned around, his friends had already rowed off in the boat, leaving him stranded. George waited on the shore for hours. No one came back. Bored and restless, he began to explore. The island was littered with broken scrap and rusted parts. Suddenly, a terrifying roar echoed from deep in the jungle. Worse still, George was bitten by a water snake. He quickly tore some cloth, wrapped the wound, and pressed on into the forest. Strange traps were scattered across the island. Even tree trunks bore deep claw-like gouges. Soon, George stumbled upon a campsite. He was about to disinfect his wound when the monster appeared. He dove under a log, heart racing, waiting until silence fell again. Cautiously, George crawled out, and then he jammed a stun baton straight into the creature's body. Sparks flew. That's when George realized it wasn't a monster at all. It was a robot. Panic surged through him. George sprinted to the shore, screaming for his friends.
Wait!
When he finally woke up, the bitten arm was gone. The doctors had amputated it and replaced it with a mechanical arm. Years later, George learned the truth. The robot had been built by his father and banished to the island because of its defects. But his father hadn't left it there out of fear it would hurt people. No, he was afraid people would hurt it. After hearing his mother's story, George picked up the same stun baton and returned to the island. Those claw marks on the trees, they matched perfectly with the metal fingers of his own arm. The robot was still there, still lurking in the camp, still howling in that same dreadful voice. But George no longer feared it, because years ago, in his panic, he had blasted the robot's arm clean off. Now, seeing George holding the baton again, the robot recoiled in terror. But George dropped the weapon, and instead he offered his own mechanical arm. For the first time, robots sense human kindness.